lovely listener, and welcome to yet another episode of Friday Night Chill with Will. I'm Will, and welcome to yet another week of fun here. Hope you guys have been having a good week. My week's been aight. Getting over a bit of a sickness. I got hit with allergies on Tuesday, and I got just knocked on my ass completely Wednesday. Just stayed home, called in sick, and it was just a time, and now we're on the other end of it, and I guess we're doing okay. Hopefully my voice doesn't suck too badly. I'm pretty sure I've sounded worse on this show. So, yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Like, this time of year, just without fail, I get sick at the beginning of the year at some point now. But it's never for, like, very long. It's, like, very short bursts. It's like I get it really bad one day, I can't do a single thing, and then the next day, I'm pretty much 100% again. If not, it takes me, like, maybe another day. But whatever, regardless. So tonight, last week's topic was a little bit heavy, and I tried going about it in the best way that I could, and so hopefully you guys understood that or were able to catch that. But tonight, I just kind of wanted to take it easy and not talk about something so heavy. And I just kind of wanted to do something real quick, too, because I don't want to push it if my voice decides to just go out, because my voice was cracking a little bit at work today, and that's always super annoying when you're sick and it just sounds like you're going through puberty again and your voice cracks. I don't know if that happens to any of you, but it happens to me a lot, and it's really embarrassing, and I just don't want to talk ever when I'm sick. So, yeah, we're just going to rant a little bit. Just a couple like subtopics, I guess. I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit about Valentine's Day, because I didn't really mention it last week, just because I was talking about something, a little heavy. I don't think I could really correlate an entire people getting ethnically cleansed to, a romantic Hallmark holiday. I couldn't really find a connection there, surprising. But yeah, so I want to talk about that real quick, because I don't know about you guys. So I have been single at this point since 2021. It's been almost 3 years now. And usually Hallmark holidays and stuff, Valentine's Day, holidays in general, usually that stuff doesn't bother me. You see people on social media, they're with significant others or whatever. They're doing their thing. They're being a lovey-dovey. They're having a good time. Happy for them. Great for them. But I don't know what it was this year in particular. I just saw so many people on social media just kind of like sharing their significant others or whatever. And I feel like it was just a large influx that just didn't exist before, or I don't know, like, maybe I'm just more aware of it now that I've been single for a few years. I don't know what it is in particular, but I just, like, noticed it a lot. And I don't want to say I'm not envious of those people, because, I mean, to a degree, I am, because I would appreciate, being in some kind of relationship or something like that. I'm open to the idea of that. It's been a few years at this point. I'm open to the idea, but I don't think I'm personally putting myself out there as much as I could to be, getting into any type of relationship anytime soon. So that's kind of on me. But I don't know. I just see so many people. They're like with their significant others. They're having like, I don't know. I think I just miss, like, having that person to confide in. I feel like that was just something I have really missed having. Obviously, I have friendships and I have people that I trust in my circle or whatever, that I feel I can talk to and share stuff with, and that's not a problem. There are people that I care about deeply. But yeah, I don't know. I do, I do miss that particular element of a relationship, like being, I don't know, just having that person to confide in and like trusting them. Um, if and I think about how I would go about things now because the past few years I've been kind of reevaluating how I've gone about past relationships with people, and realizing what I did wrong and what I should have been doing to like have my needs met in a more effective way. And I think about like how I could do that better now. And I'm just like, yeah, that'd be really cool. And then I get upset with myself because I'm like not, again, like I said earlier, I'm not putting myself out there nearly enough. I don't have any dating apps or hookup apps or anything like that. I haven't had any in a minute. They're just, I don't know. The past couple relationships I've had, I've met them off hookup apps. And they were fine. Those relationships actually lasted a few years. It wasn't, which is, surprising to a lot of people. But I mean, I think there are people genuinely looking to make connections with people on those platforms, and obviously they have their uses for other things. But that's just something that happened to work out. One relationship I was in, that was for a couple years, and then the most recent one, that was almost 4 years. So it's not to say that those platforms don't work, and it's not that I don't want to rule them out or anything like that. But I think like the problem I have is just kind of the weeding process, right? Because you have to weed through like a ton of people and just like all of this stuff that you just do not care about. Because if I want to hook up with someone, I'm going to hook up with someone. But more often than not, I feel like a lot of people's like energies don't match up, especially on those apps or whatever. And so it's just like, all right, nothing's really gonna happen here. So even if we like go back and forth a little bit, if we push this hard enough, nothing's ultimately gonna happen. Even if we push it and just like do all this talking and stuff. And that's the part I don't want to do, because I feel like that part is just so exhausting. It's like so much work to lead up to nothing. It's like the biggest cock tease basically, because it's just like you're doing all this build up, you're hyping all this stuff up, and then it's going to culminate to nothing because you don't have any intention on following through with anything that you're talking about. So I'm kind of at a point right now where I just kind of want to avoid stuff like that personally. And that's just kind of where I'm at. So, yeah, that just means I need to put myself out there in other ways that are not on the internet. And that is scary, you guys. Especially because, yeah, I don't really have a lot of experience in that particular field. So, yeah, I need to figure out how to do that. I think it just starts by just going out more. Like, I just don't go out in a meaningful way as much as I should. Just go to, like, public events and stuff where, like, things are happening and just kind of, like, mingle. I just kind of go and exist in other places by myself. Like, I'm very comfortable with being places by myself. That part doesn't bother me. I know some people, it, like, ruins them. It's like they're the worst thing that they can imagine. And I think if you're feeling like that, I think that's a good telltale sign that you're not ready to be in a relationship yet. Because if you can't deal being by yourself, you're going to be fucked. Because, I don't know, it just means you are probably going to hold too much dependency on the other person, on someone, to make you feel like, you're important or you need to do something. So, and that's kind of the part where I'm like still deprogramming a lot of that old stuff where I feel like, oh, I can't do anything because I don't have a significant other. And it's just like, no, you could totally do stuff. You can do whatever you want because you're your own person, and you do whatever you want. And yeah, I think I need to start putting myself out there more. And you know, it's just the pandemic didn't help either, because you know it was just like this whole like isolate, don't go near people and all that stuff. So really avoided like big gatherings and stuff, and you know still don't really like being around a lot of people. I never really did to begin with, even before the pandemic happened, but like now it's just like I really don't want to be around so many people. This sounds like not a fun time for me, but it is what it is. You know, we'll get through it. I'm thinking, I'm still debating on things to do. I know WonderCon is coming up, the end of next month. I think it's like March 29th through the 30th. And I don't think I've been since COVID happened. I don't think I've been. I think the only con I've been to is Morphicon. So I need to figure out my finances for March, and then I'm going to see if I can finagle that, because I think that would be a cool thing, to just kind of network and be around people again. And it'd be kind of cool to be on the con scene again, just for the experience or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know what happened this year, man. This year I just felt a little bit more of a longing for a relationship of some kind. But, you know, ultimately it is what it is. It's kind of sucky. Because, I mean, the holiday isn't even real. It's just a manufactured holiday just to get, you know, just to sell, like, a bunch of merchandise and stuff. So it doesn't have any, like, actual meaningful value as a holiday. But, you know, it does, you know, represent, you know, a time where you just kind of appreciate the people that you love and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of miss. I kind of miss that. You know, it's. I don't want to be the type of person who's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm totally fine being single and you know doing my own thing, and I am. I'm fine. You know, like I'm not like super emo or whatever, and I don't feel like I'm totally unlovable or anything like that. I have moments where I feel like that, but those are very short-lived. Thankfully, I have enough self-confidence to just kind of pull myself out of those situations and those thought processes pretty immediately. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I still go through it sometimes, and I still just kind of have that longing. It's just been like, man, this really fucking sucks. It sure would be cool if some cool guy would come around and be real cool and want to be really cool with me, and then we could go and do really cool stuff together and do really cool stuff by ourselves and just have a really cool life. That'd be cool. That'd be super cool. God, that was okay. That part was dumb, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that was a thing. That's just kind of what a little topic I wanted to talk about. Just a little thing I wanted to mention, a little smidgen of a thing. The next thing, this one's really quick. This is gonna be real quick. It's about weather, specifically rain, and why it's the worst weather system. Okay, there is nothing worse than being cold and wet. That is just something I believe with my full chest, that is the worst state of being you can be in as a human. And the human experience is cold and wet, because it just feels miserable all the time. And I've come to this conclusion because the allergies kicked in, and I think that's mostly because of the drastic change in weather systems. It was like perfectly sunny this past weekend, and then Tuesday rolled around and it just like completely stormed and flooded. It was great. It was terrific. And so my sinuses got bitch smacked by the atmospheric change, and just sent me into a frenzy. So I landed on this because I think it was like last week or the week before, something similar happened where we had a storm, you know, flow through, and my tire got a hole in it just because the streets are shit around work. And so one of my tires got a hole in it. They couldn't fix it. I had to get it was this whole thing. I spent like an hour putting the spare on because the lug nuts were seized on the tire. And so I was cold and wet, sitting in my car, late for work, driving to the shop to get new tires put on there or whatever. And I in that moment, just sitting at the tire shop, I was just thinking, there is no more miserable state of being than being cold and wet, because you feel heavy and it's just it's cold. There's just no, it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. A lot of people don't like heat, and I don't like heat either. Heat sucks, and but I don't know, man. I like, if I were to choose between being burned alive or drowning, I think I'm gonna pick burned alive. I don't know. I feel like that's quicker. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't fucking know. But anyway, that's just my little rant on that. Rain is the worst. I hate it, and it's bad. And I think we should cancel it. # cancel the rain. So if anyone actually tweets that or posts that or whatever, just that, tag me too, because I would like to see it. So anyway, that's going to be it for tonight, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked the episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you are not already, or follow the podcast on Spotify or any of the other podcast hosts that you're listening to this on, and leave a comment or something down below or anywhere you're able to. And I'll see you guys next time for another Friday Night Chill.